This is Chronicle on WCBB Channel 5.
Meet the maintenance man whose bow ties caught Beyonce's eye.
You had no experience in sewing or anything.
The French woman who captured Bostonians face to face.
We talk for 1 or 2 hours, then I take a picture.
The musician who met his role model.
MC Hawking is the smartest guy in the room.
A Golden Girls star goes viral.
I started doing her as Breaking Bad, as Walter White.
Golf carts get customized.
This one was probably around $6,500.
I'll take it.
And instant poetry. Just add water.
We've heard from people all over the world asking how to do it.
Who knew? Ted Reinstein. Next on Chronicle. Good evening. It's Ted Reinstein's world, and we get to visit it tonight. It's a place of colorful characters and hidden talents.
In our travels, we've met some people who blend surprising parts in their lives, like Tufts Medical Center anesthesiologist Dr. Adnan Kara, who we profiled a year ago. Kara's colleagues know he also moonlights as Dr. Be Dancing.
Thank you so much.
Raising money for various charities and encouraging others to fulfill their own special talents and skills.
Then there are others who also have an additional fascinating part to their life that isn't evident to others. Others who think they have the whole picture, but turns out they don't. And all they can do is wonder, who knew?
I'm just a little bit secretive. People don't know how many things I'm interested in, but an artist, yeah. I've lived in Hyde Park for 3 years.
No, people didn't know about some of the things that Chris Sean Bennett was interested in. At Mattapan's Jubilee Christian Church, they did know Bennett as both a member and a hardworking maintenance man.
He's so humble and he's so faithful and he's so committed and he just wants to serve and he wants to help and he's not flashy. I mean, he's very bold. I mean, if you see his hair style.
I looked up to Chris. Every time I have a problem, I go up to Chris. He gives me inspirational moments that I need when I get out there.
But there was, and is, much more to this 31-year-old's life than sweeping floors and stacking chairs. An actor and passionate about fashion and design, Chris Sean Bennett moved from Boston to New York, where he got a job with a fashion design company.
I started going to New York when I was 17 on my own. But moving to New York to pursue a goal, a dream, was a completely different experience.
But in 2011, Bennett's mother, Martha, suffered serious burns in an accident. Bennett ultimately left New York and returned to Boston to help care for her.
I realized that there was a lot that I needed to do here. And being around my mom, was one of them. So it's been a blessing.
Jubilee senior pastor Matt Thompson saw something special in Bennett from the first. Then he didn't see him.
I'm not saying he disappeared, but then there was a season where I didn't see him. And now I understand. He was in New York. He was doing certain things. And then recently I saw him resurface. But when he resurfaced, there was a different focus, in his eyes. There was a different focus in his spirit.
And it all had to do with a bow tie, which, on a whim, Bennett had decided to make for himself.
You had no experience in sewing or anything.
No kind of experience. I mean, sewing on buttons, like on a shirt. That was it.
On a day in New York Soho, Bennett's bow tie was noticed.
This guy yells from across the street, "Yo, my man, where did you get that bow tie?" So everybody goes, "Phew." He says, "So where did you get it?" I said, "I made it." I said, "You made it?" "Yeah, I made it." He said, "Well, can you make me one?" And I thought about it for a second, and I feel like I literally looked up to the sky and said, "Okay, God, I hear you. You want me to make bow ties."
That was 6 years ago. Today, Bennett's bow ties sell for hundreds of dollars, and his customers include Hollywood actors, NFL stars, and world-famous celebrities like Beyonce. Still, at his church, Bennett was the man with a broom, not a bow tie.
But then one day, he just came to my office, and he was like, I want to share something with you. And he handed me this bag. I opened it, and it was this amazing bow tie. And I was like, "Chris," he was like, "This is what I was like, what? I was like, unbelievable. No one knew. Who knew? And by the way, my wife is a fashionista. When she found out, she was like, "What?" what? Like, and then she said, what are you doing working here? Like, how did you get here?
The question seems to be more, why would he leave here? A regular at morning prayer, Bennett feels strongly about doing his best at whatever he does.
Anything that has my name on it, I take pride in it. If I put my hands to it, I take part ownership in it. And no matter what it is, if I'm going to do it, I need to follow through with that commitment and do it well.
You could probably look from on the outside and probably think a lot of different things about him. But you can't really judge his book by his cover, because his heart for his family, his heart for his church, his heart for God is very rare.
We don't know necessarily what our neighbor is all about, right?
If I ever felt that I could make a wise assumption, it would be that everyone has hidden gifts or a somewhat untold story. And I feel it's part of everyone's purpose to tell their story.
Christopher Sean Bennett, who, as you heard, goes by Chris Sean professionally, will soon expand on his bow tie line and add handbags and men's robes as well. And yes, he will do all of that while continuing his maintenance duties at Mattapan's Jubilee Christian Church. Well, next, jumping into the nerdcore scene and learning what that is. Plus, he's all about B.
Draw her every day for a year.